Stuffed chicken with creamy Rico sauce and noodles with the creamy Rico sauce over the top of them. Let's get it. First thing you want to do is you want to take your chicken breast, you want to cut it in half. Then once you cut it in half, you're going to take it and you're going to cut a pocket into each one of them. You don't have to go too deep because you'll cut it all the way through and then it's going to be kind of useless. But once we get these pockets set up, we're going to go ahead and season it. We got some garlic, smoked paprika, seasoning salt, parsley, and black pepper. We're going to go ahead and take all of them seasonings, which is a tablespoon of each, and throw it right on top of the chicken. And once we get it on the chicken, we're going to go ahead and we're going to use, once again, my favorite olive oil, my chili-infused olive oil. Shake it up and get them peppers to pour down on there so it can marinate in there too. Once we put a decent amount of that on there, we're going to go ahead and mix that chicken up. Get that seasoning spread all over the place. But while we're doing it, we also got to make sure that we're getting some seasoning inside of the pockets as well. So we're going to go ahead and get all of that in there. So once we once we mix all of that up, we're going to go ahead and do the stuffed part, which is going to be spinach, cheddar cheese, and Parmesan cheese. We're going to go ahead and mix all of that up. And then we're going to take each one of the pieces of chicken and go ahead and stuff the pocket with the mix that we just made out of the spinach and the cheeses. Then once we get them all done, we're going to go ahead and put them all in the pan, setting them to the side for a few minutes. Then we're going to go ahead and preheat the pan again. We're going to melt some butter down in there. And then we're going to go ahead and take our pockets that we created and we're going to put the pockets inside of the pan. We're going to pan fry them for about 7 to 10 minutes on each side, just so it can start getting cooked and can get a little crust to it. They're a little thick, so you may not be able to fit all of them in the pan. You may want to make them a little bit smaller. I live in a house with some good eaters, so I try to make big meals because my boys really can eat. But like I said, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna cook them on about 7 to 10 minutes on each side, just to get a little bit of crust to it. Then once we get that little bit of crust to it, we're gonna go ahead and flip them over to the other side. Look at that crust. And we're gonna take them out. We're gonna go ahead and make our creamy Rico sauce. We're gonna take the remnants that was left in the pan. We're gonna go ahead and add some garlic to it. Then we're gonna add some heavy cream to it. Once we go ahead and add the heavy cream, then you can season it as you see fit. For me, I like to add some roasted herb and garlic seasoning, little black pepper, little garlic, just to give it the flavor that I desire. But when you're making this, you can put any kind of seasoning that you want, and that's solely up to you, your taste buds, and how you like to season your food. Once we go ahead and mix all of the seasonings up in there, we're going to let this simmer. Let me rephrase, not boil. We're going to let it simmer on low. Then we're going to add some spinach to it. We're going to take our grape tomatoes and we're going to cut them in half, and then we're going to add them to the mix. And then we're going to continuously stir it up while it's simmering for about maybe 7 to 10 minutes, just so we can get them tomatoes to the consistency that we want. Then we're going to go ahead and add the Parmesan cheese. Some people like the Parmesan cheese, some people don't. Then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add a little bit of cheddar cheese as well. As you can see, we like cheese in our house. You don't have to add the cheeses at all, though. For us, we just like the cheese, so we'll add it. It's good either way, but you should try it with the cheese in it. Then we're going to go ahead and mix that up a little bit until the cheese melts a little bit. Then once we get that cheese melted down in there, we're going to go ahead and turn that on low and let it stay on warm until we get ready to get back to it. Then once we take that chicken out of the oven, we're going to go ahead and plate it. And as you can see, that cheese and that spinach melted beautifully. Great golden brown color. I had a crazy mixture of noodles because I was low. And hey, man, when you're trying to do something with nothing, it is what it is. I'm going to add that seasoning on top of the noodles, and I'm also going to add it on top of my chicken. But you don't have to use it, but here it is. Stuffed chicken with creamy Rico sauce.